Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sapna Dadwal. I'm working as a professor in the Department of Management at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This is lecture 9 of organizational behavior. From the last lecture I have already with lecture 8 I have started unit 3 of organizational behavior. These are the topics I'm going to cover in this lecture. I'm going to discuss the definition of conflict, then sources of conflict, types of conflict, and how those conflicts can be managed in an organization. I'm starting with the first topic, that is definition of conflict. So organizational conflict, or otherwise known as workplace conflict, is described as the state of disagreement or misunderstanding resulting from the actual or perceived dissent of needs, belief, resources, and relationship between the members of the organization. At the workplace, wherever two or more persons interact, conflict occurs when opinion with respect to any task or decisions are contradiction. Now, characteristics of conflict. First is conflict is a process. Conflict occurs in layers. First layer is always misunderstanding. The other layers are difference of values, difference of viewpoint, difference of interest, and interpersonal differences. It is also called as process because it begins with one party perceiving the other to oppose or negatively affects its interest and ends with competing, collaborating, compromising, or avoiding. So next is conflict is inevitable. Conflict exists everywhere. No two persons are the same, hence they may have individual differences, and the differences may be because of values or otherwise lead to conflict. Although inevitable, conflict can be minimized, diverted, and or resolved. So conflict develops because we are dealing with people's lives, job, children, pride, self-concept, ego, and sense of mission. Conflict is inevitable and often good. For example, good team always go through form, storm, norm, perform, period. Then third characteristic is conflict is a normal part of life. Individuals, groups, and organizations have unlimited needs and different values but limited resources. Thus, this incompatibility is bound to lead to conflict. So the conflict is not a problem, but if it is poorly managed, then it becomes a problem. Now the next characteristic is perception. It must be perceived by the party to it, otherwise it doesn't exist. In interpersonal interaction, perception is more important than reality. What we perceive and think affects our behavior, attitude, and communication. Next is opposition. One party to the conflict must be perceiving or doing something the other party does not like or want. Next characteristic is interdependence and interaction. There must be some kind of real or perceived interdependence. Without interdependence, there can be no interaction, and conflict occurs only when some kind of interaction takes place. Then the next characteristic is everyone is inflicted with conflict. So conflict may occur within an individual, between two more individuals, groups, or between organizations. The last characteristics is conflict is not unidimensional. It comes into different ways in accordance with degree of seriousness and capacity. So at times it may improve even a difficult situation. The next topic is factor influencing organizational conflict. The first factor which influences the conflict is unclear responsibility. If there is lack of clarity regarding who is responsible for which section of task or project, conflict take place. And to avoid this situation, the roles and responsibility of the team members should be stated clearly and also agreed upon by all. The second factor is interpersonal relationship. Every member of organization possesses different personality, which plays crucial role in resolving conflict in an organization. Conflict at the workplace are often caused by interpersonal issues between the members of the organization. Third factor which influences the conflict is scarcity of resources. So one of the main reasons for occurrence of conflict in an organization is the inadequacy of resources like time, money, material, etc. So due to which members of the organization compete with each other, leading to conflict between them. The next factor is conflict of interest. When there is disorientation between the personal goal of the individual and the goals of organization, conflict of interest arises, as the individual may fight for his personal goals, which hinders the overall success of the project. Next factor is conflict elevate at the workplace due to individual and inter-individual factors. So individual related causes entail attitude, belief, personality, orientation, and human frailties, whereas inter-individual conflict arises when a manager breaches norms of the organization. So conflict at workplace it may be because of individual factors, it may be inter-individual factors, it may arise from both. So both the factors influence the workplace conflicts. Now the next topic is causes or reasons or sources of conflict. So conflict may be caused by any one or more of the following reasons. First one is cognitive dissonance or difference of opinion or recognition and understanding. So it is a conflict between convergent and divergent thinking, that is difference of opinion. So conflict may arise because of difference of opinion of different people. Two people are not same, they are different. They might be have different attitudes, belief, personality, perception. So because of this, conflict arises in the organization. Second is status. Status is a state, condition, or situation where there is a need for status and a wrong person is promoted, then conflict arises. So if the wrong person is promoted in an organization, then it may be possible the conflict arises between person because of feeling that they are not being promoted, yet they have given far more good performance than the person who is promoted in the organization. The third source is incongruence. So a party is required to engage in an activity that is incongruent with his or her needs of interest. So when interests collide with each other, then also conflict arise in the organization. Then next source is incompatibility. So incompatibility means when two people, they have different personalities, they are not going well with each other, and when they work within a team or within one department or within one group, then when they interact with each other, so their incompatibility may lead to conflict between them. So incompatibility might be like they are having different attitude, value, skill, goal, perception. Then comes next is stress. So conflict from stress. Stress may be the cause or source of conflict in an organization. It may be stress may be of functional or dysfunctional situations. Then next is poor inadequate organizational structure and lack of teamwork. So these are the reasons, like if the organization structure is not properly, rules are not properly defined, functions are not properly defined, responsibility is not properly defined, they are not being clear to each and every individual, then definitely this leads to conflict between people. Then next is seeking power. Often a conflict for power struggle take place when everyone wants to be a leader, nobody wants to be a follower. So seeking power or maybe may give rise to conflict in the organization. Then weak leadership. If the leader is weak, he is not able to uh, motivate people, he is not able to interact with the employees or his subordinates, then his weak leadership may give conflict in the members. So maybe conflict is bound to result if someone less stature lead or more qualified and experienced worker is working under a weak leadership. The next topic is conflict management styles or techniques. The first technique of managing conflict in the organization is, first technique is avoidance. Avoidance, it is also called as leave or lose, leave, lose or win. It is a non-assertive and non-cooperative technique. The manager may think or pretend that no conflict exists. He may avoid, he may choose to avoid or ignore the conflict. This strategy is used when the effort to resolve is not worth the salt. But this approach over the time sometimes worsen the situation, conflict worse with time. So avoidance might take the form of diplomatic sidestepping the issue or postponing the resolution in time to come or simply withdrawing from the situation. The second technique of uh, second technique of managing conflict in the organization is accommodating. Accommodating is non-assertive and cooperative, just opposite of competing. To solve the conflict, someone puts his interest last so as to satisfy concerns of other people by giving in. So in accommodative, maybe one party sacrifice and put down his interest or accept or yield to others' viewpoint. It is called as accommodation. So, however, being too accommodated often can weaken your position to the point where your voice is never heard. So, there will be high relationship orientation. So, it is very clear what accommodative technique is. Then, third is competing. This style, competing technique, is assertive and non-cooperating. A person doesn't sacrifice or put his interest in the last, but it is but he put his interest before anyone else interest. This technique is also called as dominating style. One stands up for his rights and uses all the power to with his position. There is a low relationship orientation. Managers using this style want others to follow and dictate or get his way done. This style can be used, or this technique can be used when the leadership is established. Then comes next is compromising. This style or this technique is assertive and to some extent is cooperative. So compromise is called as when both the parties they are accommodating with each other. So this style is mutual give and take to satisfy both the parties. So both the parties might say that something is better than nothing. So it has equal distance between competing and accommodating. Now the next is collaborating. Collaborating is it is assertive and as well as cooperative, just opposite of avoiding. It may also called as integrative style. This style or this technique focuses on satisfying the underlying concern of both the parties. So both the parties they come and they collaborate with each other, and both parties try to satisfy the needs of each other. In collaborative technique, both parties actually they are in win-win situation. So they're just like opposite of avoiding, and both the parties they are not compromising. They are winning. In compromise, both the parties are compromising with each other. Whereas in collaborating, both the parties are in win-win situation. Though this style employees develop ownership and commitment, sometimes this style give birth to new mutual needs. Now the next topic is types of conflicts in the workplace. First is intrapersonal. Intrapersonal conflict take place within an individual. The person experience it in these type of conflict in his own mind. Thus, it is type of conflict that is psychological, involving the individual thoughts, values, principles, and emotions. So, intrapersonal conflict may come in different forms, from the simple, mundane ones like deciding whether or not to go vegan for lunch, to ones that can affect major decisions such as choosing a career path. Then comes intra-group conflict. Intra-group conflict occurs among individuals within a team. The incompatibilities and misunderstanding between team members lead to intra-group conflict. It starts from interpersonal disagreement, like team members may have different personality, which may lead to tension or difference in the views and ideas. Now comes interpersonal conflict. Interpersonal conflict means a conflict between two individuals. So basically this occurs because of some difference in people. No two persons have same personality, and this difference in personality and belief and values give rise to conflict between two people. Then come intergroup conflict. Intergroup conflict occurs when a misunderstanding arises among different teams within an organization. For example, a marketing department of an organization can come in conflict with the customer support department. This is because of varied set of goals and interests of these different groups. Now these are the questions which are related to the above topics. If any query is there, please do contact me. Thank you so much.